Thank you very much for the introduction. I won't have a joke in the presentation itself, but do feel free to ask afterwards, and then I'll see if I can think of something. So today I'll be talking about Tableau embedding and the journey that I've taken in the last few weeks to how I got from nothing to what I'm doing now. So I'll start with what is Tableau embedding, go on to why, and then finish off with a bit of how and some examples. So what is Tableau embedding? Well, Tableau allows you to display views on any type of web application using the Tableau JavaScript API, which they provide for you. But why do we want to do that? You know, actually, I think it's fair to say that everybody loves Tableau here, and we could just live with Tableau on its own. But when it comes to reality, organizations have a lot of other data to show, whether it is information or it's data using from different platforms. So it would be great if you can embed your Tableau application into your existing platform, which is either internal facing or even be client facing itself. So the GIF that's been shown on the screen is actually a good example of Tableau embedding. It is Tableau Public. The second reason of why do we want to do Tableau embedding, and specifically for myself, is that I recently started working at a client which only uses Tableau embedding, and I had no idea what it was. So I knew I was going to work together with some web developers, so I figured it might be good to find out what it actually is. So I started off with how do I start with this? The Tableau actually provides a basic embed script on the website, which is copied here and shown here on the screen. I have no background into coding and using HTML or JavaScript at all, so it looked a bit massive to me, and even though it's just the 29 lines. But when we start digging into it, I'll show you the side of the elements that are shown within that basic script and how you can break it down and make it a bit easier for yourself. So this is an HTML document. You can see index.html. This is what defines the HTML with at the top over there. What it does in the basic embed, it actually calls out the JavaScript from Tableau, from the Tableau public or the Tableau API. So it can read that in, and it knows all the functions that you natively have in Tableau. You can then use web applications to actually call those, like the revert button or the filters. The next part that's put in there is actually a JavaScript function from the JavaScript APIs, and initialize your visualization. And it then actually places it into a container. And on the bottom there, it actually shows the viz onto your screen. Now, when we take this script apart, what we have is we have an HTML document which contains all the information and is the container and holds everything together. We have our JavaScript which carried out everything related on the actions that happen on your screen. And on the right, we've got CSS, sort of the makeup and the styling of the script. And you can see these are different type of languages used. So if you break these things up, it becomes easier to understand what's going on. And that was sort of an aha moment for me, is when I took that previous script apart and divided it into 3 separate documents and start changing one document at a time, I could make changes and eventually turn it into a web page. So I'll show you a recording here of what I've been doing. We've got our index, we've got our JavaScript, and we've got our styling script. Now, actually, what you can do in this particular software, and I'll share all the extensions that I've used for you, you can just click Go Live, and it'll actually show you the visualization of this particular code into your web browser. And what you can then do is, actually, I want to have a different header on my website. So you can start typing in your body, a header 1, I want this header. And as soon as you click Save, it will immediately show up on your web page, as the example. Now, then I go to my styling sheet, and actually in my header, I want it to be orange. So what you do, you click header, and it's all autofill, and orange, you hit enter, and it immediately changes. So this is sort of the idea of what you can do. And from there onwards, you can go onto the Tableau website, look at different functions you can do, add them to your script, or do different types of styling. So this is the example of one of the first websites I've built is the Information Lab alumni map. So when you graduate from the data school, a lot of people start working at different companies, and people were wondering, where does everybody work now? Can I catch up with people at lunch? So what I started doing, and this is a very simple visualization, but I put reset the view as a web element in there. So rather than click on revert normally on your Tableau server, you now have that as a button, a web element. Everything is very consistent. I can use resizing of the view automatically, and it doesn't destroy your view completely. We have other elements in there like URL action, so it brings up the Information Lab, as well as a link to the Google Sheet where people can fill out their information. This is an example of the European Investment Fund. This is their main website. It looks quite coherent, and then we go to one of their embedded visits that they use. You can actually see that it sort of it fits in with their website. They use all the elements. It is actually quite a nice viz. They hidden all the bars on the bottom. And actually one of the new features is that button over there, which is a Tableau feature, but it feels like it is a part of the website. So this is how you can start expanding on your the types of visualization and adding more value to the visits that you have. Now this slide, there's a lot of resources that I've used at the start, and please feel free to reach out to me afterwards. I'm happy to share you with those. There's a few use cases that are available on YouTube where people talk about it, or some of the web pages, as well as the ones that I've used from Tableau to start with, and especially on the right side, Visual Studio Code and all the extensions that help you get started with this kind of stuff. And last but not least, there's a link all the way on the bottom which will bring you to a download site where you can download the 3 individual files that are broken up from the Tableau website itself. Now, to finish up this short talk, I would really like to thank Andre and Tim, two of my colleagues who really helped me try to understand this kind of stuff. So if you know somebody around you and is a web developer, please do talk to them, find out about best practices, and get going with that. Last but not least, I would like to thank the Tiny Tableau team for giving me the opportunity to talk here as well, and this amazing audience. Thank you.